today we are going to be learning how to talk with our hands apparently. No, that's a lie. Today we're going to be talking about tips and accessories that you can use in your day-to-day photography and videography life. Let's get into accessory number one. Alright, so accessory number one may be a little bit more conventional, and most people may have seen it in other videos that are very similar to this, and that is the duck clamps. Now these are super strong, like industrial grade, basically like a clothespin, just industrial grade. Now what you would use this for is exactly what you may think. It's clamping things together. Now on a photo shoot you may think like, I don't ever have the need to But when you're taking pictures of like models and different situations and scenarios where certain things are out of your control, like clothing, you may want to just add a little bit of control to those situations. For example, if they're wearing baggy clothes and they're not quite sitting how you want them to, and they're not like defining the figure of the model very well, then you can clamp them back super easily and nicely. And honestly, these are super inexpensive, and there will be times when you may need it. I encourage you to buy like 5 of them and just keep them in your bag. You may never need them, but there may be that time when you're just like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm gonna grab my clamps and I finally have a use for them. So big help for those unexpected type situations. Okay, the next accessory is a little bit different. It is this guy, and you may be thinking, what on earth are you holding? This is a coffee maker. I know it doesn't seem like it. This is the travel version. So you take off this little rubber top and you have all of this inside of it. So you have the cup, which is this part of the container. You have a scoop for your coffee grounds. You have a stir stick thing, super helpful, and then the actual thing that makes the coffee, this guy. So basically what you do is you put your coffee grounds in here, you add your water, and then you just push down and your coffee magically appears. Why may you need this when you're doing photos? Well, who doesn't need coffee? Duh. Seriously, what you can use this for is, if you have a very long shoot day, I can't tell you how many times that like I've been shooting for 8 hours straight without like much of a break, and my body just starts to kind of feel heavy because of whatever reason. I'm just exhausted. Like, it's a lot of work. You have to be like on the ball all the time, and when you're shooting weddings, it's a perfect example. Like, you have to pretty much be ready to shoot and just going the whole time. You may have a break for dinner and maybe when you're traveling from like the ceremony location to the reception location, but other than that, you don't really have time to go get coffee and just like take a minute. So being able to make your own coffee is really helpful. And sometimes at weddings they don't have a coffee station. It happens. I know that it's super weird, but it does happen. So having that little pick-me-up is really important. Now, the other thing that kind of goes with that is honestly just a water bottle. I don't recommend bringing a water bottle with a straw because you can't lay it down ever. So that's kind of annoying. But water bottle with a lid, super helpful. Like hot days, cold days, any days where you're talking, where you're moving, where you're doing something, water, super helpful, keep you hydrated, keep you healthy, and just keeps you going. So, water or coffee, anything like that, so that you can keep going in your day, to push you forwards, to motivate you, whatever it is, bring that. Alright, the next accessory is these guys. So these both have to do with power. This is a portable power bank. It can charge my phone from 0% to 100% like 5 to 10 times, I think. This is getting pretty old now. It's also super big. I had another one. I have no idea where it went. It was a lot slimmer and did kind of the same thing. But this has 2 USB ports on this part of it. Focus. It has 2 USB ports here, so anything that is a USB charging accessory, I can plug into this. Now I have like adapters and things that allow me to plug whatever I want basically into this, and let me tell you, it's a lifesaver. The worst thing that could happen to you when you're on a shoot is you go to use a piece of your equipment and it doesn't work because it's dead. You just feel defeated and awful. You're like, I could have charged this last night. Why didn't I do this? And you just feel so dumb, and you're like, I made a mistake. So being able to charge things on the go is super helpful. Also, when you're shooting all day for a wedding, perfect example. When you're shooting for 10 hours, things die. Batteries die. Like, pop this in, just like plug it in, and you can walk around and continue shooting and doing things. Then you can use that accessory again, whatever it may be. Lights, batteries for your camera, whatever. Super helpful to have that. Again, like this is the same kind of thing. This is a, focus. This is just a little car charger USB port. Whatever you're gonna plug in, even if it's not dead, let's say it's at 80%, just charge it to 100. Like, it's better that it's at 100% and you know that you can just keep going with it than be like, oh no, it's at 80, that's tons. And then all of a sudden you use that thing a lot and you're like, what do I do? One of the things that is like big is actually for drone photography and video. Like, drone batteries drain so quickly. Like, you got like 20 to 30 minutes of flight time, maybe, depending on weather conditions. So being able to plug that into your car, being able to like charge that whenever you're able to is super important. So any more batteries, the more power accessories you have, like the better, trust me. Okay, the next one is a little bit more of a regional thing that most people may not necessarily need, depending on where you're from and where you're living. I am in Canada, as I think most people who may be watching this video are from Canada, and it's freaking cold. So wear gloves, okay? These are actually photography gloves. I got these for Christmas, so I don't actually know where they're from. But they have these little flaps on the index and thumb that you can just like hook up, and then they have little magnets on them, which is super nice. And so you can now use your finger and thumb to change your camera settings without like taking your gloves off or leaving your gloves on and struggling to like push buttons and stuff on your camera. Like, have you ever tried to type on your computer with gloves on? It's basically that feeling, but on a camera where time is of the essence, and being able to quickly make changes is vital to getting the good shots, especially when doing a wedding. Alright, so my next accessory is maybe a little bit less conventional, and this one I haven't really seen anyone do reviews on. Now, actually no, before I get into that reminds me, hang on. A little bonus accessory is this. Oh yeah. Now you may be thinking, Lance, why do you have a pink rubber thing that has magnets on it? Now let me tell you, when you have cords or cables laying around in your backpack, it is a pain in the butt to find anything, or they get tangled. Now, we live in a world of wireless headphones now, so some of y'all may not remember, but these headphones, these are the Apple headphones that just come standard with your phone. I would put these in my pocket, and every time I would take them out, they'd be tangled. So you get this is just a little Velcro thing. Let's see if it'll focus. Focus. So this is just like a little Velcro piece that just like fits around, and so it keeps your cables nice and organized. And I got this for Christmas, which is the exact same thing. It's just a magnet version instead of a fabric or Velcro version. So, super important, super helpful for just cable management in general. Bonus tip. Moving on. So the next big accessory that I have is this. Oh yeah. Now you may be thinking, Lance, you are not cool enough or young enough to be able to pull off the hipster, hip-hoppy, trendy, sling, fanny pack thing. And you're right, I don't use this as an accessory piece, I use it as a functionality piece. So what most people do with this is it's a fanny pack. For any of you who are older, this is a fanny pack, and instead of wearing it around your hips, you wear it over your shoulder, kind of like a sling backpack. That's why it's called a sling, I think, maybe. Anyways, so And then what most people do is they'll wear it in the front like this, and they'll have it on like that. Now, when you're doing photo or video work, having your equipment close by is really important. So even if you're in a studio setup and you have things that are really close, sometimes if you break the flow of time, then it just ruins everything, especially for a wedding. Now, I've used weddings for a lot, but this is where probably the most important times are when you'll need this stuff, because you don't, or like documentary style photography, because you don't have a second chance to capture some of those moments. Sometimes you get one opportunity, one shot, and that's all you get when taking a photo. And if you miss it, it's over. And now you have to tell your client that I'm sorry, I didn't get the photo. Carrying your equipment. So usually I'll carry my backpack around, but my backpack gets ridiculously heavy after a while and my shoulders get sore and it's awful. The other thing is that you have to take the backpack off to then access it. It has quick pocket access things, but you still have to take it off. Like, you can't just have it on your back and you're pulling it out like Legolas, whipping out your arrows and stuff like that. If you can do that, that is sweet. But typically that's not gonna work. You will have to take your backpack off. With this, you don't have to take it off. You just spin it and it's gone, and then you spin it back and now you have your accessory. So what I carry in this on your shoot day, no matter what shoot it is, I will carry my lenses in it. And I have 3 lenses that I typically use for most shoots. So one will always be on my camera, and then the other 2 will be on standby. I keep these in this sling. I also keep batteries, memory cards, cables, cords. I keep a little LED light in this thing. I keep so many things in it because it's just that important that I carry that stuff around. This helped me alleviate so many issues with carrying stuff. Like I said, memory cards, batteries, filters, so helpful to have those so readily available, especially batteries and memory cards. I can't get over that enough of if your battery is in your backpack and it's done, you will take 30 seconds to a minute to take your backpack off, open your bag, find the battery, take the battery out, replace it, put the other battery in, zip your backpack back up, put your backpack on, and then you're ready to shoot again. That takes so much time when time is of the essence. Alright, that's it for the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, then don't do it. I'm not controlling your life. Peace out. See you on the next one. Ready for this? Oh yeah. Style. Fashion. Me.